Hey guys and girls, welcome to another edition of Watching Deer Antlers Grow. And we've got a sad situation here this evening. I just almost didn't do this video. I feel so bad, so really bad. But it's just, we lost Cyclops. I'll just go ahead and tell you right now. And it just, it just hurts so bad when we lose a deer, but Cyclops. And this morning, early this morning, we just lost him today, actually. And this morning, he couldn't even, he just laid down. He laid down, his head was up, and he looked fine. We walked up to him, and he normally gets up and comes over to me and licks my hand and looks to see if I brought him a treat, something to eat. And this time he didn't do that. And he just laid there, and we went over there, and we couldn't get him up. And I even got a hold of him, tried to get him to stand up, and he didn't act sick or look sick. So I gave him a shot, and I came back a little later, and the same situation. He had moved just a little bit, maybe 10 feet. And the same deal, and but he didn't act like a deer. I mean, he didn't act like a deer. He was just like, he acted fine, but he didn't act like a deer. So I called and talked to my buddy Adam Hagelin up at Hagelin Farms in Iowa, and he said he told me to give him another shot and give him more medicine that I'd given him, and I gave him some B12 and some Daxtron. And Daxtron but Draxin, but he would perk up a little bit, I think, from the B12, but then in just a little while he was back and he's laying his head down and he couldn't get up, and I knew he was bad sick, but he wasn't, nothing was coming out of his mouth. Usually when they have pneumonia, you can tell if they have blue tongue also, they get sick, their head droops, and none of that. I mean, none of that. He'd lay his head down on the ground, but he would hold his head up a lot too, and so I waited a couple more hours and came back, and he has died. He's gone, and it's just heartbreaking because Cyclops has got he's got several babies he's leaving as his legacies. I'll show you if the triplets are his triplets. I'll show you those here in a little bit, and we only had 4 babies born so far. One single and triplets, and they all belong to Cyclops, as a matter of fact. So he's left a great legacy, and 2 of the 3 triplets were little boys. Their mama seems to be taking care of them great. We probably are not going to have to bottle feed them or anything. It looks like their mama can take care of them just fine, because they're just beautiful. They're just beautiful, and I'll show you some pictures of them as we go on through this vid. But it is so sad when that happens. Last year I had 4 really big bucks that were born here in the pen. And we lost the smallest one of the 4 and the largest one of the 4. We ended up with Whitey and Bazooka, which are really big. And we're going to take a look at them here in a minute. You'll be excited to see how much they've grown in a week. But when I went down and checked Cyclops, here's an amazing thing, and particularly with what we're going through right now in our household and with my beautiful bride, Chris. And she's doing well, by the way. I probably will do some sort of an update on Saturday night. There's not a whole lot changed this week, but we have a few exciting things I'd like to talk about. But when I went down there and he was laying there, and I just, made sure he wasn't breathing, it just broke my heart. I mean, I love these deer so much, it just hurts me when that happens. But I noticed that under his head was a lot of blood, and he was not injured anywhere earlier. I mean, I've been touching him several times a day and doctoring him and giving him water. He drank quite a bit of water, which I thought as long as he drank water and stay hydrated, he'd be fine. But as I looked, there was a lot of blood that had come out of his ear that was down on the ground. And a lot of it was like heavy coagulated blood, sort of like blood you would see if you shot a deer with a bow or a rifle or something. And I know that I'm not a veterinarian, and I'm just going to throw out a theory right here that I really believe that Cyclops had a stroke. I think he had a brain aneurysm of some sort. And a lot of times when people have a brain bleed or a brain aneurysm or a vessel break in their brain, the blood actually comes out their ears, and it kills them when that happens, and it is possibility that that's what might have happened. And when he was feeling so bad and he wasn't getting up and he wasn't acting like a deer, is because his brain was messed up. He wasn't thinking like what God gave a deer the ability through their brain to do. And I don't know. I don't even know much about a deer's brain, if they're big, small, or whatever, but I know that they can't think like we can think, obviously, but they got to have something that controls their body. And I just don't know anything about deer biology, like that. I don't. But there was all that blood that had come out of his head. So something was wrong in Cyclops' head. And he might have had this for quite some time. I don't know. But I know that he got through the rutting season very good, and he bred some deer, and he left a great legacy. And hopefully some of these little bucks will be as big as he was going to grow this year. So we'll only be watching deer antlers grow for 3 deer. Now we're going to be watching some of the wild deer as well. And we'll shoot some video as they grow, and particularly Forrest, who's at the house every single day. And you see him all the time on our Friday night deer video. And so you'll be able to watch his grow, but we might throw him in and watch it a little bit this, because that'll be his first horns. The deer we have here in the pen, we're going to look at, and Bazooka and Whitey are doing great, and Bubba. You won't believe Bubba. Let's go take a look. Let's go take a look at Bazooka and Whitey and see what they've added in this 4th week. Some of you suggested, even my partner Steve Wells in the ranch, suggested that I show a photo going back week by week by week. I can't do that. But I don't even have photos of them I can show. But if you'll go back and kind of glance through some of those videos, you might categorize them somehow on your computer or your phone, where you can go back and look at them. It'll be very, very interesting, because these guys are really adding. And Cyclops was adding too. He had a drop coming out. It just breaks my heart. There was some blood coming out in a couple of places in some of those horns. I thought maybe he caught them in the fence, but evidently it might have been from that brain deal. He might have had some blood just absolutely coming out of his horns, because those are full of blood. And I know they're antlers. I know they're antlers from the south. But anyway, it's a sad day. But we're going to rejoice in this day and be glad in it. And we're going to go take a look at Bazooka and Whitey. And we're going to pray every day that we get these deers through the whole summer and everything, and get them into the rut this fall, and they'll produce more babies just like Cyclops did. All right, let's go take a look. Now that, guys and girls, is just about as good as it gets right there. There are the 3 triplets. Those are Cyclops's babies right there. 3 triplets all together in a little bunch, laying right here in the middle of the pen. And they're absolutely gorgeous. We've only had 4 babies born, which is not many. Still got quite a few to go. We've got 19 does here in the pens. And there is 3 beautiful little baby fawns. I can't remember exactly which day they were born, but they're only a few days old. But they're absolutely gorgeous right there. I'm not going to disturb them, get them up and running. The other little baby is laying over there against the fence. Somewhere, I saw it a minute ago. It's laying over there against the fence. And it's doing great too. He's beautiful. All 4 of the babies are doing just absolutely wonderful. Now, you're never guaranteed that they're gonna be this way. Oh, I see the little rascal got up. He's probably hungry. He's getting over. He's trying to get around his mama. To get a little afternoon meal. They're a little nervous because I'm in here. That one yearling is just so nervous. She makes the other 2 nervous. I kind of wish I could just get her out of the pen and let her go. But there's the other little baby over there. That's a little doe right there. And what we have here, what we have here all together, and that what makes it so special. What makes it so special is the fact that they are together. Those are triplets, 2 brothers and a sisters, and they're already bonding together. The 2 to the left there, the 2 little boys, you can see the tag in their right ear. One to the right is a little girl. And they're already bonded as brothers and sisters here in the pen. They're doing fine. These are ones we don't have to worry about bottle feeding or anything. It looks like that big doe is taking care of them fantastically. The other little baby looks the same. The other little baby is a few days older, even though he's kind of a little scrawny. That big doe just had giant babies. I mean, to have 3 and to be so big is just amazing. But that is Cyclops' legacy right there. Okay, will you look at that? Now, I see them every day, but I'm going to tell you, you look at from last week to this week, this is Bazooka and Whitey. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know which is which. I think that is Bazooka, and I think that is Whitey. Pretty sure that is Whitey. But you look how beautiful that deer has become. I'm going to get a little bit closer to him. I don't want to get real close. I've got everything up on full power. High power 6. I've got it up on video and on 6. But you look how those horns have changed. And I believe that is Whitey right there. I'm just not positive. I believe that is Whitey. He's absolutely beautiful. These deer are fat as they can be. And there's only 2 deer. You can see how the grass is growing in here with all of the with all of the rain that we've been having. We had 1.6 inches in this last rain, and we're getting 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 2 tenths, 3 tenths about every day or every other day. So it's added up, and this is the only pen that's growing like this because we only have 2 deer in here, and they're just, they're lazy. They lay around a lot. But when you look at those, and you remember where they were 4 weeks ago, you get a chance, go back and look at that video in there and look at what these big boys look like. But now this is these deer's second horns. You can see how big they're going to actually be. And Bazooka there is going to really be something. I think that deer was, I didn't score them. We're going to talk about, I need to do it, but we're going to talk about scoring and give you a kind of rough idea of how they score deer with some of the antlers we have up there. I'll do that. I don't know if I'll have time to get it done right now. Of course, we're taking care of Chris and a little bit extra, a lot of extra work doing that. It's an honor and a pleasure to get to do it, though, I promise you. But there's Bazooka and Whitey. They're just big, beautiful deer. I mean, big, beautiful deer. And they're just gorgeous. There's just no telling how big these guys are going to be. They're going to have a lot of stuff. And, you know, I don't know. Just looking, it's hard to tell. Every time I move, I know I'm dropping my camera down and you can't see. But it's just hard to tell how big they're going to really be. But you can see that they're going to have quite a few points coming out on both sides. These deer were like, I don't remember what they were, but like 17, 18, 19 to 17 to 21 points each last year. So they're going to be that again. I think they will have bigger antlers. And let's just hope that we can keep these deer alive all throughout the summer. We got a lot of 100-degree weather coming. We spray all the time here in the pens for flies and stuff like that. But we have blue tongue real bad here in Oklahoma. Some years it's worse than others. We have pneumonia. We doctor the deer. We've got a dart gun. We've got all kinds of high-dollar medicines, and we're able to do really, really well as far as keeping them alive. But last year I mentioned we lost 2 out of our 4 bucks that were born here in the pen. We had quite a few bucks born in the pen this last year, all of which we've turned loose. We really don't have any bucks from last year left in the pen. They're all turned loose. They'll have their first horns in the outside. And if we need some of them back in here for breeding purposes, we'll probably, but now look at that right there. Y'all want a picture? Take that picture right there. You want to see what those deer look like this time next week? There's your shot. Now, all right, pose, guys. Oh, there we go, right there. Snap that one right there. Snap that one right there. You can compare that next week and see what you got. Yeah, but that is absolutely gorgeous right there. Those are beautiful, beautiful. Those deer now they're 2 years old right now. They're 2 years old. So that's what they've got at 2 years. They will add all the way through June and July, and they're going to get up big, and then they'll start scraping them off as we get into the fall. 2 deer, and that's all we've got in this pen right here. And they got lots of grass. They got just a natural habitat, and they got all the South Fresh food they can eat on demand. On demand. We don't feed them a certain amount each day. It's on demand. So these guys are big and fat and beautiful. And hopefully we can keep them alive through the summer. And they'll be tremendous deer. We'll probably let Whitey get out and go chase does again. He said, "Thanks, Jimmy. I'd just seen you bring them to me." But I'm not that. That's not my job to bring you does, Whitey. Your job is to go out and run them down, sweet talk them, and produce some beautiful little baby fawns. So that is Bazooka. That is Bazooka and Whitey in week number 4. Week number 4, June the 3rd. June the 3rd. So that's what they look like. All right. Are you ready? Are you ready for the finale? The finale would be Bubba. Well, since I was in here earlier and those little triplets were laying there all beautiful, snuggled up as a little family of brothers and sisters, they have all got up. Now they're moved over to the corner, and one of them's going to lay down. They probably got up and had them a little bite to eat, but right there they are. Right there they are. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful little deer. All 4 babies that we have. That's all the babies we have right now. On June the 3rd, and all we have is 4. If you remember the triplets last year, Lucy's triplets were born June 29. So we had 19 does, I think, here in the pens. That one yearling doe there that got a little blood on her, she got that from running into the fence. Got a little blood on her, she got that from running into the fence. That little girl is just crazy wild. And you can see that big doe there, she's the one that's got the triplets. You see them there getting around under her, trying to feed. She only feeds them when she wants to. She only feeds them when she wants to. But those are the triplets right there in the corner, all by themselves. There is the other one. Now, that deer's quite a bit larger than the triplets, even though she's just a few days older. They grow tremendously fast, rapidly. We'll watch the things grow. While we're watching deer antlers grow, we'll watch the babies grow. See how her mama steps around them so gently and tenderly there? Hey, what are you doing? Do you see that? That's that crazy doe. That doe's crazy right there. I'd like to get her out of here, that yearling. She's got blood on her face from running into the fence, I know. But she's crazy. She's just absolutely crazy. She run up there and hit that little one with her foot. She's liable to get turned into hamburger meat doing that and messing with my babies. For sure, if Chris was to see that, it would be a bad deal. But they're absolutely beautiful. We'll watch them. They grow very, very fast, and it's just a treat to get to see baby deer. And hopefully we get to see them nursing a little bit. That one went to go over there and nurse, and his mama said, not now, not now, not now, not now, not now. Hard for me to keep from dropping that camera down when I look out there, look at him. That little one says, hey, Mom, how about some dinner? How about some dinner, Mom? That's exactly what he's wanting to do. Look at that little girl right there. Is that beautiful? Look at her face. Look at her face. That's the little girl. That's the, oh no, that's a little buck. And look, see, it's in the right side. Look at him getting up there. That crazy yearling that runs around, that crazy yearling doe, and so she's not going to have a baby. We probably ought to, if we could get her out of here without anything else. But that is beautiful right there. Babies, you're going to have a charmed life. Your little bucks will get turned loose next year, so you can go out and play in the wild. Yes, we'll take care of you, though, until you're big enough to make it on your own. I love you. Okay. Now, it's really hard for me to see, so if my camera work is horrible, I can't help it. I cannot help it. But now we're going to take a look at the pride of the jungle. The king of the jungle, Bubba. Right there's Bubba, right over there in the shade. And you know that Bubba is really, really wild. And he doesn't let you get very close to him. About the best I can do is walk out here in the middle of this pen and get out and get as close as I can get to him. I got my phone, but you take a look at Bubba right there. We'll be able to get a better look at him there. But you can take a look at look what he's added since last week. Snap that picture there and then take one and look at it from last week. Look what he's added. Look at those coming off to the right. I don't know how many that's going to have, that drop tine coming off to the right. I don't know how many it's going to have, but I can see 5 or 6 points there. I can see another drop coming off right by his right ear. It's actually his left ear on the right side as we're looking at it. It's his left side. And look what he's got going on top. And now, if y'all recall, both Cyclops and Bubba's a 300-pound deer. He's a giant. But both Bubba and Cyclops had messed up horns. They had only one half of their rack last year. The other was destroyed from probably either getting in a fence or having a deep shed. But now, actually, and I want to think that as he's looking at us right now, that the side was bad was that bigger side. It might come back bigger than ever, but he is going to be huge. And hopefully, oh man, I sure hate to see him have a stroke or get blue tongue or catch pneumonia. Of course, if they catch pneumonia, we can save them. Blue tongue, you normally can't. There's places in Oklahoma where blue tongue last year killed 60 and 70% of the deer. It's a horrible, horrible deal. It's little gnats. I can't see there, so I don't really know what I'm pointing at. I'm just pointing down in that direction. But right there, and you think he doesn't have a life of Riley. He's got all of those does. And a lot of these does they should have some of these does were bred by Cyclops also, and some by Bazooka. So we've moved the deer around and let quite a few deer go. So we probably let about 20 does go to let them have their babies in the wild. So we're going to start seeing some really big bucks show up in the wild that do not have tags, that were born in the wild. And Bazooka, though, if you take a look at Bazooka, you just, my goodness sakes alive. I mean, just look at him. I mean, he's just amazing. It's just, I think he's the biggest deer I've ever seen in the state of Oklahoma. I'm sure there's probably been some bigger ones here, but I've never actually laid my eyes on him. So look at him as he runs out there in the sun. Look at that. I wish he would be a little curious, a little like Cyclops, and come up and get close to me. I'd like to get really, really close to him. When we get the garden going, we had radishes come up today. When we get the garden going, we'll be bringing him some cucumbers and squash and stuff, and I'll cut up and feed him, and hopefully get him to tame down a little bit and come up a lot closer. He's just really, really wild, and he is just a gorgeous, gorgeous deer. Just a big, big, giant buck. And his genes, his DNA, is what we're going to have running around here, and that's what we want. Him and Cyclops, Bazooka, TC, which we haven't seen TC in a while. Don't know if something happened to TC or not. There's a lot of deer fatalities in the woods. Nobody ever knows about them, of course. But and in the fawning season, the coyotes in almost every state get over 40% of the fawns. They're so easy to catch. Over 40%, that's 4 out of 10. And over 4 out of 10. They're so easy to catch when the first day or two, the coyotes, if they find them, they're going to kill them in just an instant or two. They have no way to protect themselves. They don't even get up and run the first couple of days. Their mama's told them to lay and hide, and that's what they do. The good thing is they don't have any scent the first 2 or 3 weeks of their life. The first few weeks, I don't know exactly what, they don't have any scent. So when their mama licks them and cleans them up after they're born, the coyotes can't smell them, so they could actually walk within a few feet of them and not know they're there. But if they find them, it's really bad. And they do find a lot because they're hunting for them. They know what's going on. They know that the fawns are being born in certain areas. They sometimes will get up on hills and watch for does having fawns, and then when they have the fawn, they'll come off that hill and go down that area and search until they find it. So it's a really brutal, brutal world out there for a white-tailed deer. But that is unbelievable. That's unbelievable right there. It's just unbelievable. And that's Bubba. And those of you that look back and see where he was 4 weeks ago, you're going to be amazed. Even where he was last week. Even where he was last week is just, it's just amazing. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing what Bubba has put on in such a short period of time. I'd like to be able to get a little closer to him, but this is about as close as we can get. We're not far from that deer. I mean, I'm 30 yards from him probably. But he's just not going to let you get real close to him, and I don't want him to run too much. It's only about 75 degrees out here right now, but the sun's out. He wants to stay in that shade. But Bubba, what a deer. Bubba, what a deer. And let's hope we keep him alive, guys, because if we do, he's going to really be something special to lay your eyeballs on. He's going to be eye candy for anybody that loves white-tailed deers, hunters and non-hunters alike. That, my friends, is Bubba. Try to get him, maybe I'm going to move in a little closer, try to get him to move just a little bit, and I get just a little bit closer shot. Like get him out in the sun one more time, Bubba. One more time, baby. One more time. He says, Jimmy, I don't want to run. I don't want to run him too much in the heat, obviously. And there he is right there. There he is. What a gorgeous, gorgeous specimen of a white-tailed deer. Bubba. 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 Bubba, look at me. Bubba. Bubba. How many points is he going to have? Bubba. Yeah. Yeah. Ow, 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 ow. Bubba, stop. And you would stop in the shade, obviously. Turn around here and look, Bubba. Okay, guys and gals, well, it's been a sad day. I mean, what can I say? I know you shouldn't feel bad about a deer dying, but I mean, I'm telling you, I do. I get real personal with these guys, and Cyclops has been a great, become a good buddy. He's eating out of my hands, licked my hands every time I go in there. So happy to see me. I go in there and he walked up to me, and that was what was so strange this morning when I walked in there and he did not walk up to me, we got to examining him a little bit more, and I don't know if that blood was coming out of his ear. It came out of his antlers, looks like, and like maybe some sort of infection or something happened up in his head or his brain, and I don't have any idea. I mean, I just don't know what could have done that, but at any rate, we've lost Cyclops, and it's really a sad deal. We still got 3 big bucks. We're going to watch the antlers grow. as long as we can. Hopefully we keep these 3 alive and they make it all through the summer. Bazooka is awesome. He's just truly awesome. My battery's about dead on my iPhone. We're gonna watch the babies grow no matter what, so we'll see what happens. But we've got beautiful, beautiful bucks. But this will tell you how difficult it is for deer. And it's even more difficult if they're in the wild. They're here where we can doctor them, we can take care of them, and it's just like, you know, we've lost deer in the wild that we've raised, and it's like Lucy's injury. There's really no way to figure out how she hurt herself, but she did. And Milburn, we don't know if he left or something got him. Ranger's been gone over a week, and I don't really suspect we'll see Ranger back. So there's just it's a tough life in the woods for any animal, It's tough in the water for fish. How would you like to be a shrimp? How would you like to be a shrimp? You know, everything's after a shrimp. Even man, you know, and all the birds, all the other fish, and they jump out of the water, the birds catch them, they stay in the water, the fish eat them. If they get by with all of us and get real big, the humans catch them. Bubba Gump Shrimp Company. And that'll do it for this week's video. We'll have another great video tomorrow night, Friday night. I might do an update on Chris Saturday. We've got some exciting things to visit with you about that. God is still healing Chris. I know somebody told me God's already healed her. It's just a matter of the full recovery. That's probably true. But she's still got a ways to go. And it's not going to happen in the next month or 2 maybe, but I would not be a bit surprised. And I'll tell you what happened, but I'll not be a bit surprised if she's not walking before the end of this month. She may not be, but it wouldn't surprise me if she is. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great day tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, the start of another weekend already. One of the good things about time flying, weekends come around pretty quick. Just remember, I sure do love you.